Welcome to the show. It is me, your girl, Labora Lee. And I got some things to talk about tonight. We're going to get into some things. We are absolutely getting into some things, but before I get into those things, I'm going to play a video real quick. We're going to go to North Carolina with it. Let's get it together.
I'm making this money, getting these plays, living life like fuck it. She don't want an ex nigga, no more nigga who dusted. Got that street sweep for forwards that's coming through bustin'. Blam gon' dunk on you niggas, call it Big Bam. If I get caught with this trap, it's 13 years damn. I'ma slide with the side easily like Pam. It ain't jelly, I'm fairly, don't get caught in the jam. Wham, bam, thank you ma'am, she twerk it for the gram. She let me fuck for a gram, she had ass jams. Had to knock down those walls, call it better ram. But that pussy was whack, so I called it spam. After I hit it and split it, I told that chick slam. I'm known with no feelings and don't give a damn. Put your man's work in my bag if it don't fit, cram. He can buy it back from me, but I'm taxing fam. Put up and I'm feeling like sing. With the mob, bada boom, bada bing. Don't ask me my phone when it ring. Knew how to get money since I was 13. Everything may not be what it seems, but I had on these bitches on me. But why him Hispanic Neapolitan? Discrimination not a thing. If you want me to sling the ding.
I put the sauce with the king. Hook up the force and feed it. You can get fine, no flash for jitty. I put a mic, start breaking the meter.
I'm making this money, getting these plays, living life like fuck it. She don't want an ex nigga, no more nigga who dusted. Got that street sweep for forwards that's coming through bustin'. Blam gon' dunk on you niggas, call it Big Bam. If I get caught with this trap, it's 13 years damn. I'ma slide with the side easily like Pam. It ain't jelly, I'm fairly, don't get caught in the jam.
Ooh, buckets, going through life like fuck it. She's a bad bitch, yeah, I might fuck it. Done with that bitch, I cannot trust it. Get John Jane, I see my chain. If we got problems, we don't complain. I don't have time for these damn games. Or you get left back, yo, with a step back, cause in this heat. It is a kickback, you was the dumb bitch, yeah, you a fucking bat.
Ay, you never ever get your shit back. Flex on a nigga like six pack. Right down the guy like Kit Kat. Run through traffic, my pattern is this ass. Long bit dope, but get back. Rockin' out shows at the kickback. Marking out S like, oh no, tit tit. I got a stitch to the cocaine, break that. Pull out the chopper, let's start break that. I put the business in order and finance. I'm at the top way past my climax. I say out there and toes on the floor, man. Pull up with the bag, don't do that. Still on low, even though my course crash. Still on go, we going in here first. Walk them out and put in leg work. Step up left and watch his lid bust. Niggas be poppin' shit like puss. Living life in a rush. Sleep for the night, I creep on hush. Sleep for the night, I creep on hush.
I'm making this money, getting these plays, living life like fuck it. She don't want an ex nigga, no more nigga who dusted. Got that street sweep for forwards that's coming through bustin'. Blam gon' dunk on you niggas, call it Big Bam. If I get caught with this trap, it's 13 years damn. I'ma slide with the side easily like Pam. It ain't jelly, I'm fairly, don't get caught in the jam. Blam gon' dunk on you niggas, call it Big Bam. If I get caught with this trap, it's 13 years damn. I'ma slide with the side easily like Pam. It ain't jelly, I'm fairly, don't get caught in the jam.
I'm back. Listen, there are a few things that we need to talk about as adults because I feel like sometimes when we get into relationships, there are a lot of things that we forget and there are a lot of things that we just ignore. And so in my mind, I felt like there's some things we should talk about. Mm, mm, mm. So, let's go with. I got my notes in my phone. Sorry. Uh, Misguided beliefs about sex. I think that a lot of times in our younger years, we have these misconceptions about what it is that we're supposed to be doing, right? Um, we get misguided because we're young and we're dumb and we have no clue. But I think as we get into our older years, there are some things that we should take into consideration. So when we're younger, chemistry is everything. Like if you feel the connection, it's just the life. That connection is everything, but it's not everything. The chemistry is not sometimes enough. Especially when we get into to committed relationships. Myself personally, once I get into a relationship, I'm committed. But I also feel like there's no reason why we should be lost in the sauce. It's just some things. Don't get commitment misconstrued with the actual idea of keeping each other turned on. Commitment and chemistry and arousal are all different things. So I think the first thing that we should discuss when it comes down to this sex thing is communication. And with the communication, I've been in a situation, and I wanted to talk about this a little bit, not too in depth, but a little bit, where I have been in a situation where the chemistry was good at first, and then we got way too fucking comfortable, and it's just not that person. It was me too. I got comfortable with the idea of thinking that I had a spouse that was gonna be ready for the things that I was ready for. Like in my mind, if we live together, if we are together, then we should have a constant communication. That's one. Two, we should never, ever, 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 ever hold sex against each other. And it got to a point, but I'm gonna get to that point in a second. It got to a point. Compatibility. It's compatibility. You know, there are some people that you're very compatible with, and it's beautiful. But there are some people that in this life you feel like you're compatible with, but not necessarily. And that's not your fault to feel like that's. I feel like this is the right person. I'm gonna give it to you the right way. You know, sometimes in your mind, you this is the right person, and then that person has different values than what you have. And so compatibility can be strong, but it can also be not so strong. So I think that the first thing that we always should consider is how compatible we are, what things we have in common, what things are important to each other. For me, family is everything. Like I want a solid ass, strong ass family. That means the most to me, but not so much to others. Compromise and cooperation. That's a very strong situation, because a lot of times people are not ready to compromise. They're not ready to let go of whatever it was that they had in their views before, because they're so I hate to say this, but they're set in their ways. Compromise and commitment, cooperation is, and so it's two sides. Compromise is understanding the fact that you both have the same views, but some different views, and there's some things that you're gonna have to work on together as a couple, to make sure that you have a solid foundation. It's certain things that you're not always gonna agree 100% on, and that's okay. That's all right. But compromise is everything in a relationship, and if there is no compromise, there is no relationship. you're working with two different minds. You're working with two different beings. And I say this all the time on this podcast. We have been given free will. And so sometimes we really can't think on the same level all the time. So compromise is something that's important in a relationship. If there's no compromise, like it's some things that you're gonna have to fucking let go of, dude. What time I'm cussing? All right, I think I'm good. But there are some things that you have to let go of. And there are some things that you don't have to let go of, but you can kind of find a middle ground. And I think that's very important to a relationship. There's always the middle ground. And if you both can't come to a situation where you both understand that there is a middle ground, then you don't belong together. Cooperation. Let me get to that. Cooperation. So there is a long-standing understanding of what cooperation is, but cooperation is two people understanding that you have, and that's why compromise and cooperation go hand in hand. You're not always gonna agree on everything, and that's okay. You're not supposed to. It's no way you can have a healthy relationship if both of you guys agree on everything. It's just not gonna work because you're two different people. So cooperation. How can I get down to the nitty gritty of cooperation? Cooperation. So here's my synopsis. You don't have to agree. That's why I love this platform, because you don't always have to agree, but with cooperation, there will be a time where both of you don't agree on the situation, but there is a time where you both have to sit down and come to an agreement about where the line is drawn, where you both should be mentally, and where you both should have an understanding. And then with the compromise, there should be cooperation. So if I'm compromising and you're compromising, we both should have an understanding of, like, all right, so we're compromising, so it should be a cooperation and a compromise. That's the first part. So I wanted to talk to you guys tonight about that. That's very important in a relationship. If there's no cooperation, there's no compromise, there's no relationship. There's no way that you guys can have something solid if both of you are not on one accord. And when I say one accord, that doesn't mean that whatever y'all were talking about, you both agree upon. What I mean is that sometimes you have to agree that you both disagree. And there should be a point where it's not I'm trying to think of the right word I want to say, but there should be no confrontation. Like, just, all right, we don't always agree sometimes. But here's where I'm getting ready to bring it all back. When you're trying to bring back the love, when you're trying to bring back the fire, when you're trying to bring back all of those things, there are a few questions that you should ask. Like, what was your first thought when you saw your partner? I could go in, but I'm not. I won't. When did you first have your first erotic thought? When did you first have your erotic thought about your partner? When did you first kiss? And what was your first kiss and who initiated? These are things that you should remember when it comes down to the relationship part. What do you remember most about your first months together? Oh my gosh. I want to give y'all so much, but I can't. What did you first find most appealing sexually about your partner, and what did you find most appealing physically about your partner, and what did you find most appealing emotionally about your partner? Because it's levels. It goes in levels. And what was your first vacation with your partner? Now, let me say this, and I'm going to give y'all a little bit of me, and then we'll dig deeper. So I'm gonna answer some of these questions. I'm gonna be brave tonight, and I might be in trouble, but fuck it. All right. So what was the first thought when I saw my partner? He had a hell of a sense of humor. That's the first thing I acknowledged about my partner. But again, my situation with my partner was years, because it didn't just come into fruition the first time we saw each other. What did you have your when did you have your first erotic thought about your partner? It was after the second time we did what we did. I promise. Because the first time I was just like, oh, this, because it was my friend. But the second time, which I initiated, I knew. Okay. I didn't know, but I knew. When did you first kiss, and who initiated it? I'm gonna be honest with you, and he probably won't like me about saying this, but it was him, because I had this whole weird thing about kissing. And to be honest, now I'm gonna give you some little insight. To be honest, I wasn't big on kissing. But the first time I kissed him, it was everything. When was the first time you made love, and what did you think? The first time we made love probably was the first time we really, really actually kissed, because I told y'all I was weird about kissing. He was the first, and he is the only man that I'm just like, I want to kiss him. So that's that. So the first time we made love was the first day that we kissed. What do I remember about the first months of being together? Well, our first months of being together, he was on tour in another country, and I remember but we had a long-standing friendship before that happened. But the first thing that I remember about the first months of us being together was he was in another country, and I missed the fuck out of him. I was a sad, sad puppy. I mean, I talked to him while he was gone, but I missed the shit out of him while he was gone. So that's the first month of us being together. The first month, it was official, and then the second month he was gone. What did you find most appealing sexually about my partner? It was good. It was amazing. It was good. It was good shit. It was good. Listen, so the first time with me and my partner, it was a lot that went into it before it was our first time. It was a lot that went into it before it was our first time. But when we actually did it, in my mind, I already knew what it was going to be. And so it's just like, oh, I already knew that this wasn't going to be the only time. So that was my first time. Like, I knew it wasn't going to be our first and our last. And it wasn't our first and our last. We still doing it. So sexually, I didn't know it was going to be good, but it was good. And I knew that I wanted to come back after that. What did you find most appealing physically about your partner? Well, there are a few things. It started with his eyes. He doesn't know this, but his eyes. I got a weakness when he look at me, especially when we have his eyes did it for me, but it was his eyes, his hair. And at the time that we started, he didn't have no long hair, nothing like that. It was just, it felt good to rub on. And it's still like, even if he cut his hair today, if he went bald, I feel like if he went bald, it would be still a good situation to rub on. But it was his eyes and his hair that did it for me, especially his eyes. Okay. So we got the physical part. What did you feel? What did you find most appealing mentally for your partner? It was a lot of things, and it's a long list, and I won't go, but I'll give a couple of things. It was who he was as a friend. It was who he was as a father. It was who he was in general. His spirit is so different than a lot of the fellas I met. It was how he treated me. It's still how he treats me. He treats me, it's beautiful, and I don't have no complaints about this love. It was just different from anything that I ever experienced before. He's been a good man to me, and he still is. And so that was the mental part, the emotional part of it. And what is my favorite vacation I've ever taken with my partner? We haven't taken one yet, but I can't wait. So those are things to consider when it comes down to your partner and reconnecting. I just gave y'all a lot of me. But I do want to challenge you all, especially those who are in relationships. And my challenge is, I got a 30-day challenge for y'all. And the challenge is reconnecting, getting into that us mode. And that's everything. And when you are in a relationship. So the first thing in day one. So let's talk about day one. I want you guys to remind yourselves of why the intimacy and the sex is important. That's first. Well, now all of those questions that I just asked and I just actually answered for y'all, for me, I need you to ask your spouse before you get to the day one. So when you get into your day one, I need you guys to remind yourselves of why the sexual part of your lives are so important, and how you can have better sex. So let's talk about it. And you need to make a commitment, because there is a contract in the situation. It's not a physical written contract, but a mental contract. And in this contract, you should state certain situations, like, I will be less cranky and feel happier. It's hard, but the happiness comes within you. I will make my partner happier and healthier. You can't make your partner happy, but because the happiness comes within inside, but you can play your part. So that's where that comes in. I will be more flexible. And that's not a physical thing. Sometimes you just gotta be open to some shit that's going on. Again, that goes back into this particular thing, and it might sound like a fourth, but it's another one. Just being healthier for yourself and your partner. You know, it gets weird when it comes down to having real full commitment. So I don't want to go into, this is just the list that I have for myself, so I'm not going to go into it. Once you have made the commitment, though, to yourself, because you have to start with yourself. You can't start with your partner, because again, I said this already, there's no way that you can absolutely make somebody happy. You have to start with yourself. Discuss it with your partner, the things that can make you happier as a person, but they also have to be open to listening to what it is that you have to say. And then come up with a contract about the things that you both, but y'all both have to do that. It's just not a one party situation. It's a both situation. Come up with a contract mentally about what you both can do to make each other happier. That's very important. Most would say do a written contract. I don't believe in that because your relationship is not a written contract. So how could you put it down on paper? So I'm gonna give y'all a quick synopsis, and then we're gonna go to a video real quick of my summary because I'm getting to the day too. So create a list of reasons of why it is important to improve your sexual situation. Get your partner interested in the commitment in improving your situation. I said it's a 30-day situation. I'm challenging myself to this as well because I want to make my partner happy. I don't want to be that girl. Schedule dates. Make sure you schedule dates because it's hard when you have, especially when you have, it's hard when you have kids. I won't say sign a contract, but I will say that a vocal contract is the same as, and I know this from business, sometimes you can say a verbal contract can be just as good as a written contract. So come up with a contract with each other of making each other happy. And then practice 30 seconds of just holding each other and getting to know each other. Now I'm gonna get to day 2 in a second, but we gotta play a video. All right, who we gonna play? Let's go to I think the last time we was here I played a lot of Dirt Batoon, but it just made sense of what was happening. So we're gonna get out of the Dirt Batoon mode and get into some other people. So let's do this. I'm coming. Let's play Prophet and Corey Guns. Let's go.
I've been counting money, man, up trying to get this paper. Not gonna take it from you. I don't give a fuck about you, haters. Always keep it 100. Take a cash from counting these hundreds. You can try your luck if you want it, but we don't really think that you want it.
So clown smile in your face when they plot. 3-point blank almost got my big bro killed when they shot. Them look like cameras is watching. Quick the rat on you, turn they back on you, no problem. Paying them that they try and take off the top. And next thing you know, they hanging out with the ops. Around my city, you hearing so many shots. Some might have not deserved it, some maybe not. It's still sad, little Herbie got killed in Allendale. On the same streets my whole life that up and riding round. They fake friends trying to hit on your baby mama down. They want to claim your family, mask up and rob you now. They try to throw dirt on your name, they be sabotaging. Say they riding, got your back, but they camouflaging. And you know I keep it 50 times 2. Hate all you want, heard that's your favorite to do. But how they do that?
I've been counting money, man, up trying to get this paper. Not gonna take it from you. I don't give a fuck about you, haters. Always keep it 100. Never catch from counting these hundreds. You can try your luck if you want it, but we don't really think that you want it.
Niggas be sucking dick on the bitches. All I hear out their mouth is malicious. Get the bread, leave a nigga for dead. You ain't help them, now they helping the feds. Niggas tell on they own firm. I thank God I ain't never learned. Nigga, I run up on you with the blick. Hey, your whole block looking at the clip. Gave me all of the smoke and this drink. You niggas fishing, I blow up the tank. Hunting for digits, it's all in my bank. Fuck all you bitches, the Lord who I thank. Throwing subliminals, not in my field. I'ma do business and fuck how you feel. From the murder lane, call it body mark. To the South Bronx, 174.
I've been counting money, man, up trying to get this paper. Not gonna take it from you. I don't give a fuck about you, haters. Always keep it 100. Never catch from counting these hundreds. You can
I'm back. That was How They Do That by Prophet and Peter. I'm sorry, Corey Guns. If you don't know, Corey Guns is the son of Peter Guns, and that's why I got it twisted. Because Peter Guns been a lot in my listen. He doing what he do right now, but that was Corey Guns, and we ain't gonna take away from Corey at all for the sake of his father. But anyway, so let's get back to these days. So day 2, you should solidify the commitment that you just made in day 1, right? Um, if you're comfortable with it, you both should go and get checked out together. That's fun. It's not fun. It's fun, but it's fun. Get checked out together. It's fun because you both have a security. Make sure you're touching and holding each other. That's very important. It's just very important to just know. Maybe if you've been together long enough, pull out some old photos and just reminisce. That's everything. Reminisce about the good old times and where everything was right with y'all. All right. That's just what it is. But let's get on the solidify part, right? Because I wanted to dive a little deeper. So the first thing you should know, what was the first thing you noticed about your partner? What was the first thing that attracted you? Like, y'all should be asking these questions. What was the first thing you noticed about me? What was the first thing that attracted you to me? What made me smile when you... Let's talk about that. What made me smile? I knew I loved you when... I know they're uncomfortable, fellas, but these are things that you can honestly, if y'all ever have the part where you're not sure about whether or not she loves you, if she can answer these questions, then you might have a real one. So let's talk about solidifying the commitment and recalling the passion that y'all had the first days that y'all did what y'all did. What time we at? We good. All right. So, what made your heart skip a beat? What made you like really think about this person? And what made you so my heart skipped a beat when I first saw you smile, your legs, your naked body, etc., etc. Like it's everybody's answer is different. I felt those butterflies in my stomach when you, and both of y'all should be able to answer these questions. I got so turned on when you touched my hand, French kissed me, etc., etc. I got so turned on is the situation. I got goosebumps when you, and then answer the question. It's things that I feel like us, when it comes down to this couple situation, we're so scared to talk about it, but those things is what makes a relationship work, and those are the things that make it continue. So if you can get through those things, it's everything. So solidify your commitment. Tell everyone about your commitment. I don't know if I believe in this one that much. Like, I'm okay with being honest about who my spouse is, because if I fell in love with you, I fell in love with you. And it's a reason why I fell in love with you. Like, you don't have my heart. My heart, I don't give out like that. I'm a rock. And I could be very disrespectful when it comes to matters of the heart. I can be, ladies, on that standpoint, I could be a whole dude. But it's just, when you fall for somebody, you got to be honest. And then again, I just said it before, but I'm going to say it again. Make sure that when you're having these conversations, that you're really connecting, hold each other, love each other. So I'm going to give you a quick summary. Schedule an appointment for you and your partner to go get checked out together. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I think you both just have to be comfortable with doing so. Write down a list of qualities. Or you don't have to write it down, just talk about it. But write down a list of qualities that attracted you to your spouse. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes. I'm sorry. Solidify the commitment. The commitment, even if it's a recommitment, just make sure that y'all both have the understanding of that's what y'all doing at that particular moment. Just know that y'all are there and that y'all are there for each other. That makes a world of difference in a relationship. If I know that you're here for me, and I definitely know if I'm with you that I'm here for you, it changes the game. It changes everything about what it is that y'all have, and it builds for the future. So yeah, so solidify y'all commitment to each other. That's important. Recite the list that y'all have to each other. That's good. Just know, like, sometimes I know, fellas, and I'm gonna give y'all a prime example, and then I'm gonna get to the love in a minute, and then I'm gonna keep it moving. But I know sometimes we as ladies, sometimes we say things. Specifically for me, I repeat a lot of things. And I repeat those things because I wasn't heard a lot as a child. So with me repeating those things, it's me repeating them so that you understand and you heard what I said. Unfortunately, it's not always good in relationships, but it's again, a relationship is not just about what you feel, but the other person as well. And so I found that in the relationship, maybe that was the biggest part of me breaking up with people, is just that I repeat myself a lot. But I repeat myself again. I'm repeating myself right now. I repeat myself so that I'm heard, so that everything is understood and there's no miscommunication in the situation I got going on. And that's why I do it. But it can be a pain in the ass. I know it can be. And I understand that part, and I'm here for whatever comes along with it, but I'm not going to stop doing that because I need you to hear me, and I need you to hear me wholeheartedly, but I know that it's a pain in the ass. So we're going to talk about the next chapters. Nah, we ain't ready for the chapters of what we should do, but let's talk about the libido. Everybody has a different libido. Everybody's sex drive is different. You cannot bank on one situation because you were in another situation. You just can't do it. Every sexual situation is different, and you need to talk to your partner to have an understanding. But I'm gonna play a video. I'm gonna play a video real quick. Oh, I might get through it, and then I'm gonna get to showing my love real quick. But don't put everybody in a box. And I'm about to I'm about to play this shit real quick because I'm in my animal shit. Let's go. Animal shit, dirt platoon. That's where we at tonight.
It's Baltimore, gentlemen. The gods will not save you.
Right. We some motherfuckers. My fucking partner, I'm a monster. Almighty myself, my nigga. Yo, almost better than I ever was. Dirty motherfucker with a mean mug. I break fast in the session. Break a man up, then sit down and eat breakfast. Clear catastrophic danger. Black grown monkey with anger, give me 10 feet. I'm unselfish with an ass whipping. It's 10 niggas snook the crook. Yo, my whole sense of purpose in life. Get a pie, give my peoples a slice. Roll dice to keep myself self-satisfied. I'm disturbed, in other words. Motherfucker don't say shit. When my temper get tested, my buttons get pressed. My main veins start to pump through my flesh. Break through and counter-rap with the death. Beat him, then pound on my chest. The honorable, mighty, the best, the head chef. I leave a footprint when I start. Grab a mic and do yams to come. I'm a motherfucking animal. Animal. Yo, I always leave a footprint when I start. Grab a mic and do damage to come. I'm a motherfucking animal. Nigga, I put Use the pencils to the lead break. Plus I'm known to write, ain't got a pen. This skinny brown nigga in Thames. Like me smack mucus out your dumb ass. You 1/3 of what I used to be. Break MCs, then pound my chest like a primate. It's not good to get me irate. Looking like live bait. Raw steak food for the wolves. Know they gon' feast till they fall. Take a pull. I declare war on whoever. Let your mother be the judge to prove that I'm better. Clever with my wordplay. Plus I say it much sharper. Arthur, my voice touch the hearts of toddlers. Leave grown folks in shock. Rock knots, put speed knots on foreheads. Crab cake niggas get served as hors d'oeuvres. Rest getting fed to the birds. Tossed out on the curb.
Hey yo, soldier noses, foxholes and bunkers. Empty then reload. Heartbeats, numbers, terrorists, the corners. I pull that Smith and Wesson 686 and make a motherfucker strip like you work enormous. Niggas pat you on your back and search for soul spots of folks. Try to get inside your cranial vault. Elephant's memory, call me West Indian Archie. When I ask you a question, never answer falsely. You I'll break your Adam's apple with 8 pounds of pressure. Slip the crook so fast I can chase down the leopard. Bike shift can bring down a bison. Over the last 10 years it been 300 sightings. Yeah, face covered with hair like a bad bitch Morgan State. Only thought in my head is I wonder how his organ tastes. You know we stay on the animal shit. Dirt Platoon, aka the Cannibal Clique, cause we eat rats.
I'm a motherfucking animal. Clever with my wordplay. I'm a motherfucking animal.
Animal shit.
That shit was called animal shit because we on our animal shit up in here. We are some animals up in this bitch. But anyway, that was Dirt Platoon, and we gonna keep it doing how we doing. I'm gonna always show love for them. First rap group I ever worked with, and it was dope. It was fun. Had fun times. If you're my friend on Facebook or IG, you already seen the pictures. You seen what we did together, but I'm gonna always show them love. All right, so next week we're gonna talk about our libido. That's a very important thing to talk about as we get older, because I don't think a lot of us understand our libido, but I think we will dive into that, and I'm gonna get all the way into it next week. I'm gonna give y'all some actual factual, and I'm gonna give y'all some eroticism. That's the plan. But I gotta get to the love real quick, and I ain't gonna do my peoples like this real quick. Hold on, because I ain't even got them on the joint. Give me a second. But yeah, we're gonna talk about the libido next week, because I feel like as a woman in her 40s, I should be talking about my libido. Like, I should be talking about our libido. Let me get right real quick though. I feel like that's something that we should talk about. We never really talk about it. Oh, did I close it? Yeah, I did, but we gonna get right. I'm gonna put it back up real quick so I can show my love. But I think that a lot of times us, when we get into our older years, we don't really talk about the things that we should talk about. Like, we are grown enough. Oh, no. I had a topic I wanted to talk about. So there was a young lady who recently got married. She got married. Hold on, let me get right. She got married to what is now her husband. Right. And it was a video where she was twerking on him, and she had a little skankily clad outfit on. All right. And so I want to discuss that, but I saved that for last for a reason. So we are in 21 countries. We are in all 6 continents, 21 countries, and 200 cities. And I'm going to show love where I show love. We are in North America, Europe, Asia, Oceania, Africa, and South America. And thank you guys for tuning in. I love you guys. You guys are the best. You guys are the best. Hold on, let me get this right though, because Ho, 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 ho. Because I got to do it right. Hold on. I got y'all, though. Give me 1 second. Let me get my screens together. And my mouse is where I wanted it to be. But we're going to show some love real quick. Because I have to. All right. So, like I said, we are in 21 countries. We are in 200 cities. And it's love, man. It's love. I love all of you guys. Thank you for tuning into this podcast. Those people who are, they don't see what I look like. Only the people that watch this podcast know what I look like. And they listen to me anyway. And so I appreciate them. Hold on. All right, let me get my love together. So I'm going to go country by country by country and territory by territory. Shout out to United States. I appreciate you. I love you so much. I love my babies. France, forever day ones, and I love you forever. Germany, hey babies, I love you too. I see y'all. India, hi India, thanks. I love you and I appreciate you as well. Brazil, Netherlands, Singapore, South Africa, United Kingdom, Spain, Philippines, Belgium, Australia. Oh my gosh, I love this list. Mexico, Nepal, Mauritius, Israel, Canada, Japan, Hong Kong, and Ireland. That's all 21. I thank you guys so much and I love you. Now, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to show my love, but for right now, I'm just going to show love to the top, the cities that came in, and maybe I'll do the top 10 cities. But anyway, so the cities who have been showing us the most love, San Jose always. I love you, San Jose. Thank you. Las Vegas, Nevada, Frankfurt, Germany, Indianapolis, Indiana. Hi. Owens Mills, Maryland. No, I won't say the name of the city because I will never ever destruct the name of the city. Singapore. All right, and I'm gonna move over and I'm gonna show a little bit more love tonight because I feel like I should. The top cities that show me love and that I appreciate all of y'all though, but these cities, hold on. These cities are at the top of my list because they always show me love. Again, San Jose, Baltimore, Maryland, period. Pooh. I love my city. France, I will never butcher the name of the city. Spring Valley, Nevada. Columbus, Ohio. Washington, Virginia. Frankfurt, Germany. Las Vegas, Nevada. Norton Shores, Michigan. These are my top cities. And Ashburn, Virginia. I appreciate all of you guys. Whoever tunes into this podcast, you don't have to listen, but you do. And so I love you guys so much. I do. And I love you so much. But let's get to this girl twerking on her husband. All right. So I might feel a little differently than others about this situation. But if it's the man that I just married, and let me just say this, I can't wait to be his wife, but my first marriage, because I was married before, I didn't get to decide anything when it came to my wedding. No, I didn't get to decide anything. I didn't get to decide my wedding. I didn't get to decide my reception. I didn't. Even when it came down to a situation where finding I did not get a chance to decide any of those things. So when it comes down to the next time I get married, I'm going to do what the fuck I want and fuck everybody. Like, it's my marriage and this is how my marriage is supposed to work. And it's not about y'all. But this young lady, she gave a little striptease to her husband. She did a lap dance. And yes, her outfit was skankily clad, but it's been on the top of the news for everybody because everybody feels some kind of way about how she did what she did. And I'm going to give my input because I feel like I should. I'm marrying my husband. This is my husband. And at the point that I'm giving him this lap dance, he is totally my husband. I should be able to do whatever the fuck I want to do to my husband. If I want to give him a lap dance, now I probably wouldn't have went as skankily clad as she did because her butt was hanging out. I probably wouldn't have did that, but that's her business. If she want her ass hanging out in front of her husband, then that's what she do, and that's nobody's business but her own. But my point is this: when I get married, I'm not getting married to you. I'm not getting married to my relatives. I'm getting married to the person that I said I do to. And if he's okay with it, I'm okay with it. And that's just what it is. And I think the problem is that everybody is minding everybody else's business too much. Like, if I want to give my husband a lap dance, if I want to make these ass cheeks clap on my husband, even though I know how to twerk, I don't really know how to twerk. But if by chance I learned how to twerk and I want to twerk on my husband, it's my husband. It's not like it's some random ass dude. It's her husband. She's clapping them cheeks on her husband. Who are we to decide what she should do to her husband? When they go in the bedroom at the end of the night, guess who's in the bedroom? It's her husband. Even before he was her husband, because I'm quite sure she was making them ass cheeks clap before he was her husband. That's them. That's their relationship, and it's not your relationship, and you should mind your fucking business. Let me just tell y'all, if I ever get married again and I want to make my little ass cheeks clap on my husband, that's my business. It's not your business. Who are you to freaking judge? If she wanted to make a clap for her husband, she made a clap for her. That's her husband. I don't feel no kind of way about her outfit. If he didn't feel no kind of way about it, I didn't feel no kind of way about it. I didn't feel no kind of way about her lap dance that she gave her husband. Every man deserves a lap dance from his wife. Period. I don't feel no kind of way about none of it. And you shouldn't either. Mind your fucking business. Let that girl clap them ass cheeks on her husband. Period. Like, let her do her thing. And it's not your place to decide whether or not she should be doing that on her husband. But it made the headlines, and that's why I'm discussing it, and that's why I want to discuss it. Let me clap my ass cheeks on my husband. I promise you, if I get married again, whatever I do to my husband, because it's my husband, it's none of your business. And I wish somebody would, because I'm just that disrespectful to cuss you out about that. I'm going to do what I want to do to my husband. I'm going to do what I want to do to my man. That's my man. And I should be able to make my ass cheeks clap on my husband. That's how I feel about it. And so if I want to twerk on my husband, even though I don't really know how to twerk, that's my business. Let me do what I want to do to my husband. That's not your business. So yeah, that bothered me a little bit because I keep seeing it in the headlines and everybody got something to say about what that girl. Yes, it was posted on social media. So you have the right to say what it is that you want to say about it. But y'all, that was her husband. That's the man she just committed her whole life to. And we got to keep it freaky. We got to keep it freaky. And if you don't want to see it, don't be there. That's just what it is. And so I appreciate the love that she showed to her new husband. And you do what you want to do. And it's not nobody else's business what you do to your husband. And if it's posted on social media, Okay, it's still my husband. Like, get the fuck out of here, y'all. I'm tired of y'all. All right, I'm tired of y'all having too much to say about people's business, especially if it's her husband. That was her husband. So I don't feel no kind of way about her making a clap for her husband. I don't feel no kind of way about that. Make it clap, girl. Give your husband everything. Your husband, your new husband, everything that he dreamed of. That's what it should be. He should be thinking about, damn, I'm out of town for business. I gotta get home to my wife. That is how it should be. So I don't feel no kind of way about that. Make it clap, baby. Make it clap on your husband. Clap them ass cheeks on your fucking husband. And anybody that has anything to say about it is probably because they are prude and they don't really know how to maintain and have a successful marriage. I'm sorry. Girl, make it clap on your husband. If I ever get married again, I'm going to make it clap on my husband, just not in public. I'm going to make it clap in private. Like, I don't know how to do it, but stop judging her. You know, like she did what she did for her husband. And that's what it is. I'm going to play one more video and we're going to play Bismarcky by Bomb. And then I got some things to say.
Wish I could have made it trapping. Wish I could have made it rapping. Wish God would have made it happen. But who am I to question this plan? Yeah. So I LV'd the wallet, the luggage, the bed sheets, the loafers, my girl closet, still spending from the 2000s. A man's got it, not flipping bricks though. Now I'm in the crypto, that's about it. Anybody violate, try and take, that's about it. There's not one piece of plastic on wifey, that's about it. Niggas broken 21, still slaving for massa probably. Racing from Maryland, who first to the hotel lobby at the Bellagio. It's watching the fountains with her for me. For her, it's the Louis stores every 20 feet. My circle's more like a square. Every side even, we all eating, but we stay hungry like we starve even. You don't know what to do with beef? Y'all vegans. Rap niggas stay biting my shit. Y'all cheating, guess I'm a mentor to millionaires. I'm Paul Deacon, I'm Jason Stone teaching. Niggas don't hear me. I'm trying to pull up in his and her Maseratis at the valet, like I only got a couple hundred for you, homie. Had a bad day, smiling, reminiscing of them blocks in the winter. Then I remember, got a cruise on the Ritz-Carlton yacht in December. Yeah, it ain't ours, but we'll be there though, cause we know rubbing elbows with the wealthier help us grow. I've been telling y'all for years, money my habit. It's the only reason I can sympathize with you addicts. And I put that on my future paddock. The old ones had it, I don't think they really understand it. Look, goals to be in the 1% by New Year's Eve. It seems I'm looking through colored contacts, how I'm seeing green. Yeah. One time for the paper, 2 times for the haters. Bismarcky, I hit them with the vapors, cause we stay ballin' like the NBA does.
I'm still mad about how they judging this girl about how she was twerking on her husband. She's supposed to twerk on her husband. Who else is she supposed to twerk on? I'm just saying, like, she's supposed to twerk on her fucking husband. That's her husband. All right. I gotta get out of here, y'all. I'm still bothered by you can't even twerk on your husband these days. Like, that shit is ill. So tune in for Fire Friday, because I got some things to say on Fire Friday. I do. And I love you guys, and thank you for tuning into this podcast. Whoever tuned into this podcast, I appreciate you so much. I'm about to get out of here, but I love you. I love you.